anything you want me to dive into in further detail, but I think in general, Georgia's been very interesting for investment opportunities. Typically while I'm traveling around, that's the main thing is I'm looking at investment opportunities. What does the real estate look like? What do the passports look like? What does the citizenship by investment program look like? Residency programs, all these different things are very, very important to take in mind. While I still run the YouTube channel, I definitely plan to do some real estate style videos where I'm kind of touring different properties around Georgia and Armenia and Ukraine. I kind of see this section of the world as like the Eastern Bloc, right? So you have Europe kind of meets here, and Georgia's actually the easternmost country in Europe. So you have just to east of Georgia, you have Armenia, and then you get into Azerbaijan. But as far as investment opportunities go in this area, it's pretty crazy. I mean, abundance there. I was just speaking with someone who has been living here in Batumi 8 years, and she said basically like the development's insane, right? So just over the past 10 years, obviously Georgia has developed wildly, but over the past really 8 years, it's been insane. Here in Batumi, it's been marketed kind of as the Las Vegas of the Black Sea. And I mean, just beautiful properties right along the coast of the Black Sea. You see kind of these carnival style setups, just a beautiful boardwalk all along. And as this big truck passes, yeah, okay. Okay, so I'll discuss some things further, but I did want to touch on this question I just saw pop up. So UMB and API3, yes, I hold these tokens. Now with altcoins, what I think the most important thing that I talk about on this channel with altcoins is identifying key infrastructure plays, okay? So you have the key blockchains, so you look at, okay, Bitcoin, what is being built on top of Bitcoin? Well, not much. You look at where the majority of decentralized finance or DeFi is being built, and it's on Ethereum. So ERC20 tokens, that's one play, right? So if you want to play it very, very safe, very, very surface level, you go through those kind of core infrastructures, right? So what is being built on top of this? So just like if you're looking at investing in Airbnb, right? It's a platform, or investing in Uber, it's a platform. Same with these blockchain projects. So Ethereum is really a platform for other projects to be built on top of. Then you look at oracles, right? So all of decentralized finance, for this whole industry to run, you need oracles, you need data providers, right? So, and basically what oracles do is they remove the middleman. So throughout a lot of all these different industries, your reliance on centralized data. So all of this data is stored on centralized servers. So you look at Amazon Web Services, the majority of Amazon's income, the actual revenue, comes from AWS. They actually lose money on their product side, which is how they kind of avoid taxes in a way, but make money on the software side. So they make money with AWS. But the problem here is all of this data is centralized. So it's on a centralized server. With oracles, essentially what you're able to do is have two completely independent blockchain projects, have the middleman not have human error. And that's the biggest thing we have. So think about it like the game of telephone, right? So the game of telephone basically simulates the problem with human error, right? So you kind of are all in a line and you're whispering to one another like a message. So maybe like you're all standing in a line and it's humans to humans speaking, like verbally and listening auditory. Now, the in between there, if you could think about it, if you could put like a robot in between, like a decentralized robot in between each person to convey the message. This is also kind of what Elon Musk's company Neuralink is doing, where essentially you have this issue with data being transferred in between humans. And data is a massive problem that we see right now because, again, when data is compromised, this can cause a massive issue. So that's essentially what oracles do, and I think API3 and UMB are great lower market cap oracle projects, especially now in this dip. I mean, I can look up API3 real quick, but last I saw, I think I had averaged into it even further. But it all depends, right? So it depends. Are you looking at to buy API3 today and sell it tomorrow? Well, that maybe you should look for playing the lottery then, right? So I'm looking at these as, okay, auditing the code. That's what I personally do. So I do my own research in each of these projects. I always talk about you should watch the video down below in the description on how to do your own research. But API3 and Umbrella, what they're doing fundamentally is incredible, right? So that they're oracle projects innovating in this space. And when you're looking at, okay, either you could play it very, very safe and invest in something like Chainlink, you could invest in like band protocol that have higher market caps relative, or you could go to API3, which I think is even more decentralized. There is some issues with, people would say maybe the code isn't as audited as Chainlink, but this is the whole point of it, right? So just like if you're looking at investing in emerging markets, it would just be like someone saying, hey, it's you know, I don't have my whatever, my favorite green smoothie shop. Well, in a lot of developing markets, these things are coming in. So it's about identifying these trends early, right? So if you're only playing it safe, then you're a bit more of a passive investor. But if you want to become a bit more of an active investor and identify these trends earlier, this is where I think lower market cap projects in the Oracle space are so powerful, because if you believe in the future of decentralized finance, you understand that in order to power this whole thing, the whole thing needs data oracles, okay? And that's what Chainlink does, that's what API 3 does, that's what Umbrella Protocol does. And if I look here, I'll pull up API 3. Let me see. But yeah, throughout the video, by the way, I'm just going to basically go through some altcoins and then discuss some like second passport type things. But it's really whatever you guys want me to talk about, I will talk about. Yeah, API 3 has taken a nice retracement. Wow, wow, wow. I think I averaged in around like $3. I definitely will be buying up some more of this. I mean, the all-time lows are around $1, and we're sitting at $2.64. We're seeing the all-time highs around $10. So just to get back to those highs, we have a nice 4x, right? So the way I'm seeing a lot of these plays is most likely the market will be moving sideways. I would say up until maybe July, we'll see some either pops high or pops low. It really doesn't matter. Either way, I'll either be averaging in or averaging out. That's kind of my thing, is I'm not necessarily going to speculate on which way the market's going to go. I'm going to look at the charts and play it either way, right? Because as long as you understand fundamentally what's going on with decentralized finance, what's going on with crypto, blockchain, whatever it is, and how it's affecting the global markets, it's eating up more of the market share. Think about how much money is stored in gold, physical gold. Now, I like investing in some commodities. I like gold, I like silver, but when you look at the total market cap of gold, or the total market cap of these investment classes that are really just the analog version of blockchain, of Bitcoin, I mean, so much capital is going to flow into this space, especially when people start realizing these key infrastructure plays, right? So the way I see it is similar to how I look at lithium or uranium. Is you need lithium to have electric vehicle batteries. So you need these core commodities to build different innovations. So that hinge point is there. Same with decentralized finance. It doesn't matter, you could build the best projects in the world, but you need certain things. And one of those things is a data oracle. So just like if you're building, like I said, electric vehicles, you need lithium, you need cobalt, you need nickel to build the actual solid state batteries of these vehicles. I have videos on this. And just like with nuclear energy, which actually takes up 60% of the US's green energy, totally. It literally, nuclear energy takes up 60% of the U.S.'s green energy, and the U.S. just passed this Green New Deal with Biden, and the one thing that nuclear energy needs to run is uranium. So you look at these kind of hinge points, similar to semiconductor chips, right? So a massive thing that's kind of caused in this market, this supply shock, where some people get worried about inflation. Well, first of all, is the monetary stimulus, but second is this shortage, right? So let's say in the 40s, it was a bit more of the labor market and in factories. So you had shortages in certain supply sectors, right? So when supply gets reduced, demand typically increases, especially when you have these inflationary cycles. It happened in the 40s. Then you look at like 70s and 80s, and it was the same thing except for oil embargoes. So this is why I think studying past markets are so important, because in this current market, it's semiconductor chips. But the overall point you want to understand is, where are these hinge points in the market? Where are these places where you just can't get around them, right? So it's like driving on a highway, and there's only one road, and there's a toll booth in the middle. That's what oracles basically are. So obviously it depends which oracle will win out in the end, but I think there's room for lots of different oracles, especially, I mean, with Chainlink, like what's your most upside in this bull run? Just like with Bitcoin, right? So with Bitcoin, just to get back to 60K, those levels we were at, it's like 50% from here. But if you're looking at what's the best play in the market, it depends obviously on what's your risk tolerance. So Bitcoin could also go down a lot further, but relative to other altcoins could go down a lot further, right? So it depends on what you're looking for, what you're kind of optimizing for, I think is the most important thing. But long answer short, yes, I still like Umbrella Protocol. I still like API 3. What they're doing is incredible. I may even do updated deep dive videos on these projects. But yes, so Umbrella Protocol, API 3, definitely I'm still into. As far as like second passports and things like this goes, I did want to touch on here in Georgia, there's lots of opportunities. I've been working with people, kind of helping consult in different countries with second passports. The main reason that I think people are looking for these things is you don't have the really freedom, right? So one of the biggest risks that I see in the market today is not even necessarily monetary risk, it's political risk. You look at if you're in the US, if you're stuck in the US market, well, what's your biggest risk? you can still invest globally, you can still do these different things, but it's, to me, it's political risk. Is taxes are truly, the trend is only increasing with taxes, right? I don't see taxes, the movement towards taxes towards the downside at all in the U.S. You look at the people in office, you look at Biden, you look at Kamala Harris. I mean, these people want higher taxes, and especially if you're going to implement things like MMT, the MMT idea of, and by the way, I'm not a fan of MMT. I think it has some things that are interesting, but I'm much more of like an Austrian economics minded person. I mean, you look at the things in the U.S. going on, and it's like, what the only way to put really to lower inflation in their mind is taxes. So that if that's their only tool, just like what we were talking about, if the only thing you can use, if the toll booth in that highway, right, the only thing available is there, you have to use it. So in the U.S. has basically set themselves up in this position that they have to increase taxes. They cannot really lower taxes. You have things like yield curve control that you can do in the market, but besides that, I mean, that's where I highly recommend you look into second passports. I have a couple of videos on these things. I think personally Turkey's an interesting opportunity. Obviously, always the Caribbean countries. If you're looking at quick citizenship by investment, you look at St. Kitts and Nevis, you look at St. Bart's, you look at Dominica. I mean, Dominica, you can literally $50,000, small amount of capital, can get you the investor's visa. Now, the main thing here is to realize, okay, even if you can't get a second passport right away, what I recommend is at least setting up a residency, right? So you have a residency. And the main thing to realize here is, okay, let's say we have, just hypothetically, we play this out and travel's restricted again. Well, you want to have a plan B. You want to have a place that you can go to outside of your home country. If you're ever trapped in one country, historically, just zoom out through all of history, this is never a good situation, right? So you want to have these plan Bs, you want to have these different things, and this is a super long conversation, but it's one that I am very, very interested in and I am very passionate about. I basically work with people doing this on a day-to-day basis, kind of getting their plan B set up, whether it's just global investments, whether it's looking at different residency programs, whether it's citizenship by investment programs, all very, very powerful. I think the main thing to avoid in this space is paying ridiculously high fees. You have kind of these fly-by-night companies that charge you ridiculous amounts for citizenship by investment programs, where if you just know the right people, if you know the right lawyers, you're going to pay a much lower amount, right? So you basically want value for it. And the reason that I say Turkey is an interesting option for citizenship by investment is truly because Turkey is set up where it's actually citizenship by investment. A lot of these other programs, it's not really citizenship by investment, rather it's closer to citizenship by donation. Like in most of the Caribbean countries, it's 100K to 150K, depending on where you're looking at, and you're basically donating to the government. Similar to like North Macedonia, they rolled out this new program for citizenship by investment. It's 200,000 euros, but it's not like you're getting 200,000 euros of an investment property and a passport on top of that, like Turkey, right? So Turkey, you can basically have this investment in real estate. You can break it up however you want. So you can have multiple properties. It just has to fit that requirement, which, if I remember right, is 250,000 euros. And you can buy really nice real estate in Istanbul, wherever you want in Turkey. I think there's a lot of opportunities on the coast, as well as on the Black Sea, like where I'm at now, right? So there you're basically getting this added perk with the investment, right? So think about it like, I mean, on a smaller scale, think about it like you're investing in a stock, you're investing in a cryptocurrency asset, right? Like an altcoin. And with your investment, you get a bonus. So like think about it with altcoins. Let's say they had it where you invested $10,000 and you, along with that, you got like an NFT, or maybe you got access to some event, right? So it's a perk on top of it. And I think that's always compelling for investors is, okay, if I can look at a value investment plus on top of that, I kind of have dessert, right? So like the desserts in Turkey is not only do you get really nice real estate with high growth potential, especially when you look at the decline of the lari, especially if the lari, Turkey's native currency, declines even further because of Erdogan. He's fired like multiple central bank heads, and that's just not a good situation. If the currency declines even further, you could see a really, really nice opportunity in Turkey for real estate. And then again, on top of that, you're getting this added benefit of a second passport. So when you're looking at second residencies, I would say Panama. I'm very interested in Honduras, so Prospera in Honduras. You can literally, I have a video on this, and I've actually talked with some of the top people in Prospera. Basically, it's kind of like a free economic zone. It's called Roatan. It's an island on Honduras, which is really nice. Lots of development there, but basically minimum to low taxes. You can literally set up a company online. You don't even have to be there. You can set up an e-residency from So a lot of these places you can really only set up a residency if you fly there and you're actually physically there. And I understand that some people can't do that. Some people are tied up with their job. They kind of have their physical location. But ideally, you get yourself in a situation where you can be a bit more location independent. You can travel around and look at different investment opportunities, because that's a lot of what I do. That's a lot of I travel different places. I look at what's the banking sector like. For example, here in Georgia, one of the best banking sectors in the world. Like, this is literally what America was supposed to be. You were supposed to, like, here you can come to Georgia, set up a bank account within 5 minutes, and it's so smooth. It's so awesome. You can set up a business very, very quickly. You can look at real estate very, very quickly. The only problem I see in the real estate market is online they do a horrible job of marketing it, but that's also the opportunity in the market that I see. And also, it's not real estate agents here, it's called mucklers. So it's very interesting, and there's kind of some incentive things, but yeah, anyways, I'm taking a little sip of tea here and then I'll continue. Yeah. So you're welcome for telling me what you think about API 3 and Umbrella. I probably, what I'm thinking about doing is I definitely will start increasing the amount of videos that I do, and probably like long form, more detailed videos, especially on kind of like the map of the crypto market. I think this is one of those things that I personally look at pretty much every day as far as like, okay, what are all the different opportunities? Just like when you're looking at the world, right? Like, you want to have the global investment map. And I'm kind of thinking about creating like a video series on like maybe like the crypto market map, where I look at each of the different blockchain ecosystems. So you obviously have each of the different categories within each different blockchain ecosystem. So let's just take Ethereum, for example. You have launchpad projects, you have decentralized exchanges, you have lending protocols, you have things like synthetic assets on the blockchain, so many other things out there, oracles, privacy coins. So in each of these blockchain projects, in Ethereum, in Solana, in Binance Smart Chain, in Bitcoin, right? DeFi is being built on top of Bitcoin. So in each of these, you have kind of the top plays for each of the categories. But then you also have, like, right, so with Ethereum, for example, you have Chainlink as kind of the top oracle, but then you also have alternative oracle plays. So one way you can think about it that I personally do is think about it like if you're a more traditional investor and you're basically used to the stock market, right? Like actual company equities. Think about it like investing in something like I don't know what that was. Think about it like investing something like Amazon, but then also investing something that's maybe a smaller version of Amazon. So a high market cap play that's maybe a bit more steady versus a very low market cap play that is long-term more growth. So you look at high upside versus stability. So for me, that's like value investing. Or you look at the commodities market and you look at, okay, with the crypto market, with altcoins, okay, so if I'm saying maybe the top decentralized exchange like Uniswap versus a newer decentralized exchange like an Injective Protocol, right? So Injective Protocol, much lower market cap, higher capabilities, and these are just the main categories, right? You also have all these alternative categories across all the different blockchains. So that's why I've considered doing this video series where it's like the crypto market map, right? So you have a bit of like a high level overview of seeing these different things and breaking them down, categorizing them. And I'd probably do like a shared spreadsheet with everyone and kind of break these things down. But it's so important to understand that there's so many opportunities in this market. I still hate the word altcoins. You still have to use the word because that's how people like think about it. But I think 10 years from now, we're going to look back and go like, why the hell were we calling these altcoins? Okay, so everything that's not Bitcoin is an altcoin. Like, that's a ridiculous way of thinking about things, in my opinion. Same with cryptocurrency. Like, the word in general, it really should be, I mean, even crypto assets, I don't really like as much. But not all these projects are trying to be currencies. I think when people are looking at this market, they go, oh, all these projects are trying to compete as currencies. There's thousands of different currencies. No. There's utility points. There's governance coins. There's all these different types of projects. And it's really fundamentally the blockchain ecosystem that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter if all the top projects die out. Blockchain, fundamentally, what it is doing for the world is great. And that's why, in the Telegram group we were discussing, I was on the train and Ikra said something that I thought was fascinating, a very, very long paragraph, but basically her thoughts on blockchain and how it helps the world, and I could not agree more overall with what she was saying, because blockchain fixes so many of these problems we have in the market, and it's a very long, nuanced conversation. I think since I'm here in Batumi, I'll probably be doing more live streams. When I was in Tbilisi, I was having some internet issues, so like getting videos up, and like that past live stream, a little bit of internet issues, but since I'm here in Batumi, the internet's here is great. So the view is incredible. I got here a little late as the sun was kind of going down. So, the sun was going down. So I apologize for you guys not being able to see the view. But I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. So I think tomorrow night I'll probably do a live stream. Maybe I'll try and do a live stream like consistently over the next couple of nights. Talk about different topics, whatever you guys want to see. But yeah, so anyways, let me see. Feeling confident. Yeah, okay, so the Korean real. Okay, hold on. So let me do this. Okay, seems to be working great. Thoughts on feeling confident in the major bottoms or tops? I guess strong divergence in price in general. Yes, okay, so bottoms and tops. The main thing is to realize that you can never predict these. No one can ever predict these. So what I do is I have these priced in, right? So I talk about this in like the tiered investment approach where in these bottoms, again, if you identify the macro trend in the market, whether it's crypto, whether it's commodities, whether it's stocks, doesn't matter, whether it's even real estate, right? There will be boom and bust cycles, but having these things priced in, having a plan for them. Most people never even do this, and it's one of the worst things in investing is I always have a plan set up, an idea of, okay, like, how can you handle these ups and downs in market swings? And in crypto, it's really important to go, okay, when I have this massive price movement towards the upside, I want to have a set plan in place so I don't act so emotional in the market. I want to act as logically and as rationally as possible. So when you're looking at it from the pure confidence standpoint, first of all, you don't want to have money in there that you absolutely need to live, right? So ideally you have some sort of passive income coming in. So that's why online business is incredible. That's why having things like passive income, whether it's real estate, whether it's commodities, whether it's dividend stocks, whether you're staking, yield farming, whatever you're doing in investing, it's very powerful to at least have, I say at least have $1,000 a month coming in passively, right? So maybe you're working an hour a week on these strategies, and you're having $1,000 a month come in. Now, this is for a whole nother video topic. I mean, there's literally so much opportunity in the world to do these things. Like, we literally live in the best time in history for online business, for making money on these things. Think about 50 years ago. Let's go 100 years ago, right? Your grandparents had zero of the opportunities that we have online now. Like, if they were 100 years ago, if they were saying, hey, I'm gonna be location independent, work online, invest, it would be very, very hard. You have to literally be born into a wealthy family. But today, anyone around the world, I would say the ground is really flattened out, right? So the playing field is kind of even now. So when I meet someone and they're complaining about like, oh, I can't make money or what, look at the opportunities around you. I mean, I definitely need to make more videos about this, but I was able to start doing these things when I was like 12 years old. Look at all the opportunities, and especially now in 2021, I mean, the opportunities are abundant. Even if you're not more, like, let's say you're not entrepreneurial minded, there's so many opportunities to work for a company, especially in blockchain. I mean, blockchain, there's a ton of companies. Anthony Pompliano has a great job site if you're looking to work for a company remotely in the crypto space. It's called Pomp Crypto Jobs or something like that. You can just like Google search up Pomp Crypto Jobs. Really, really great if you're looking to work remotely, especially for a blockchain company, and potentially get paid in not something that's devaluing, but rather getting paid in, let's say, BTC or ETH, right? So at any point in time, you can trade that for a stable coin and transfer it to your bank account, or you can just keep it in crypto, right? So you're basically having this nice hedge in the market where you can almost dollar cost average in without having these downsides of like taking your paycheck or your income from your business and putting it in. Rather, you're getting paid in it. Like, I have some people that I work with, like, for consultancies, and they pay me in crypto, right? So I kind of prefer getting paid in crypto, even if it's stable coins. Like, just purely from the standpoint of the speed and the security, right? So, like, someone's paying me in crypto for, like, whatever I'm doing for, like, let's say I'm helping them with, like, real estate or, like, second passports, residencies, whatever it is, business, it doesn't really matter. I can get paid literally within 10 minutes. There's no wire transfer fees. There's no problems with the Swift banking system. You can get paid in like a privacy coin. I mean, there's so much opportunities. Like, I really don't think anyone who's complaining about making money, man, there's so many opportunities out there. I definitely will make more videos on this, but I even look at like technical analysis, looking at day trading, right? So obviously you have the downside risk of day trading. If you don't know how to set proper risk management strategies in place, this is a big problem. But this is why I made Global TA, that course on like global technical analysis, is because I wanted to make sure, like, it doesn't matter if you're watching that in Canada or you're watching it in Southeast Asia, right? It doesn't matter the country you're in. You can watch it from anywhere around the world. And what blockchain allows you to do is really play in capital markets and actually build wealth, right? So as long as you know your proper risk management strategies, as long as you know technical analysis, which that course lays out for free, you don't have to pay anything. Literally, all you need is an internet connection. And it's same with a lot of these things with a blockchain, right? So you can actually trade in capital markets and make nice income. I mean, trading and these different things. I don't even trade very actively, but when I do, it's just nice income, right? So you can basically make more when these markets go up or when they go down. One of those things that I would say to whoever asked about being confident in the markets is learning trading, learning a little bit of technical analysis, right? So as long as you have the fundamental framework of okay, when I talk about how to do your own research, looking at on-chain, sentimental, fundamental, and technical analysis, if you understand how to trade, you can make money when the market goes up or goes down. Now, obviously, you have to, like I keep saying, you have to have your risk management in place. But think about it: when you can have a capped downside. So if you see that the patterns coming in, what I talked about in global TA, whatever the different indicators in, that the market is going to crash, or the market is going to pump, you can ride those waves. Even if you have your core position in, even if you've averaged into this asset, even if it's tanking, you can do a short position. You can cap your downsides. You can literally make it so, let's say your upside is literally unlimited. So let's say it's looking at going 50% on it's like the market's going down 10%. You're doing 5x leverage. You have a 1% stop loss. So your max risk is 5%, but your max upside is 50%, right? So you can also do things like setting a trailing stop loss, where basically you can just walk away from your computer. You can go outside, go for a walk, go for a swim, go work out, do whatever you want to do, and it's automated for you, right? So again, these are things that we truly only have now, right? So 50 years ago, 100 years ago, these things just weren't available, right? Especially for anyone around the world. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter your ethnicity. None of these things matter. You can do it and make money. So, I mean, incredible things in the market. So anyways, let me go here. Have you heard of the details? Yeah, so El Salvador, as far as second citizenship, it's currently, I hope they change some of these things and like maybe make it Bitcoin. I mean, the first country to do like a crypto citizenship by investment, it's going to be pretty awesome. From what I understand in El Salvador, it's not that compelling on the global landscape because the actual El Salvadorian passport isn't that good. One of the main things with citizenship by investment is you want to look at, okay, what's the freedom of movement, right? So some African passports are nice. Like I love Africa, right? I think it's one of the honestly the best countries in the world for investing right now. But the problem is if you're looking at citizenship by investment in these countries, you need to look at, okay, where can you travel with this passport, right? Because if you want to lower taxes, you need to look at, okay, potentially renouncing your citizenship, especially if you're in the U.S. because you get taxed on global income. But the main thing is to go, okay, where can I travel with this passport? So if you're just only in, let's say, I don't know, let's say you get an Iraqi passport or an Iranian passport, you have very limited freedom of movement. Now, I think those countries are incredible investment opportunities, but I would not want a passport from them. So that's why, like, some people call them like Tier A, Tier B, Tier C passports. And the main thing to understand is that's why people like European passports, right? So that's why in the Balkan region, it can be compelling to potentially do a citizenship by investment program because basically you have these different opportunities where you can get in on a passport at somewhat of an early stage. And these countries are still developing, especially when you look at it from the perspective of, okay, if some of these Balkan countries enter the European Union, it could be an interesting opportunity. So anyways, I apologize if I'm not going to go super long on this live stream because I am pretty tired. I did have a lot, so I'm going to read through some of this like chat things, and I probably will end up doing another live stream tomorrow, to be quite honest. But I'll do it a bit earlier when it's still light out because it's so beautiful. I mean, the view is ridiculous. Like the Black Sea is literally right here, and man, the Batumi is just absolutely incredible. Like I said, I'll probably end up doing like some real estate videos while I'm here because I haven't really done that quite yet with the channel. But that's kind of what I do when I'm not. When I'm not doing things online, is I'm either touring different investment opportunities with locals, different like businesses, or just literally walking the city. That's what I love to do because you can really be boots on the ground and go, okay, what are the different trends in the city? What are the different trends in this country? And where are there inefficiencies in the market? That's really how I look at it. Is that there's only so much you can do from investing, just looking at your computer, just looking online. But when you actually get to walk the properties, when you get to do all these different things, it provides a ton of opportunities for investment. So yeah. All right, let me see. So yeah, I talked about the El Salvadorian potential citizenship by investment. Again, you need to look at the actual quality of passport. That is very, very vital. Some of the best passports obviously are like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, U.S. But again, with the U.S., I would never do citizenship by investment there because again, the taxes. It's kind of this sliding scale, right? So just because you have the most freedom of movement, if you're getting 60% taxes, why would you ever do that? So like that's why a French passport. I do some parts of France are nice, right? Like I probably wouldn't live there. I don't mind visiting. I know some people that live there, but I would never want to do citizenship by investment there, or get stuck in the tax system because it's a massive problem. Yes, you have freedom of movement, but I would rather go for one of the other like Schengen zone passports. For example, some people like Panama, right? So Panama can be an interesting opportunity. There's a lot of different things in the Balkan regions. In my opinion, Montenegro got rid of the citizenship by investment program, but you look at Serbia, you look at Albania. These are very compelling. Someone's got their loud motorbike here. Let me go here. But yeah, overall, I just look at it as, okay, what's the actual quality you're getting, right? So just like I was talking about with Turkey, right? So you're actually getting an investment. You're putting cash into real estate. On top of that, you're getting the citizenship by investment. So on top of that, you're getting the passport, and this can be expedited, right? So then you contrast that with like North Macedonia, and you're basically paying 200,000 euros for citizenship by donation. Like you're not getting really any investment. You're just buying the passport. Now, don't get me wrong. You can get the passport within 3 to 4 months, and the taxes are interesting in North Macedonia. But I would rather get a residency, set that up in North Macedonia, which you can do very, very easily. And that's why whenever I'm looking at different passports and things like this, I also look at, okay, what are the different residencies, things that you can get, because there's multiple ways to get citizenship, right? So there's citizenship by naturalization. So that's if you actually live there for an extended period of time. Some places you can get it literally within 1 to 3 years. It all depends. Every country is different, but you have citizenship by naturalization. You have citizenship by investment. It's actually paying. Some countries have a program. Some countries have an official program, and then some have an actual unofficial program, right? Then you also have citizenship by by descent. So let's say I'm Irish, right? So like my family's. I have a little bit of Irish and a tiny bit of Chinese, which is so strange in my history because I do not. I'm mainly Irish, right? Like I have a kind of weird bloodline history, but in Ireland, let's say your grandparents were actually born there, you can get citizenship by naturalization. So if you're interested in getting a second passport and you haven't looked into, okay, where were your grandparents born, look into that, and then also you can reach out to me and I can help you. Like join the Telegram group and we can discuss it in further detail because. Citizenship by naturalization is always compelling. If you were either adopted or let's say your grandparents or parents were born in one country and now you live somewhere else or you grew up somewhere else and you never considered, oh hey, maybe I can qualify for that passport. Well, citizenship by naturalization, it really doesn't take that much, just some paperwork, some birth certificates, things like that. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, if you have a kid in another country, technically that kid can like qualify for that. Even so, like let's say you live in the U.S. but you fly to whatever country and you have your kid there. Your kid's born there. He can actually have citizenship by naturalization, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, you don't want to just like do that. I'll leave that up to you, right? Let me see. So, as I heard about international investments, I want to tell you something about the Korean real estate market. Yeah, so the Korean real estate is pretty interesting, especially the average price in Seoul on residential. Let's see. Yes, so foreigners are allowed to buy property in Georgia. Yes. But let me finish this. Okay, so this is the thing is typically in different countries it's a bit different. Like I would say that there's a ton of countries where it's very, very easy. Typically any country that I travel in and stay in for a long period of time, foreigners are able to buy real estate. So if you see me in a country for an extended period of time, I'm not just there for like a week. If I'm there for like a month, typically, that's why I'm looking at opportunities here. Either I'm looking at it for myself or for someone else who I like work with privately that wants to know about the market there that maybe can't travel. Sometimes I'll actually go for someone, so I do offer that as a service because it's kind of aligning my interests. Like I enjoy traveling, I enjoy investing. So if someone that I'm working with is interested in looking at a country to invest in and they actually can't travel there themselves, like let's say they're a CEO of a company and they have multiple kids, they have a family, they have to go into their office every single day. They can't just pick up and go to like here in Batumi. They can't just fly whenever they want and look at real estate, but I can do this. So some people hire me for that, and typically when I'm in a country for a long time, foreigners can buy a real estate, or you can do it through a company. Like typically when I'm buying real estate, you never really want to do it through your own name. Now each situation is different. You typically want to set up a business, purchase it through that. So in the U.S. this would be an LLC, but like I was talking about in Roatan, Prospera, Honduras, you can actually set up like a business you don't even have to actually physically be there, and you can also do this in the Caribbean. But yeah, that's kind of a topic for another day. I'm getting a little tired. I'm not gonna lie. It was a long day of traveling, but let me see here. So, especially average price, yeah, Seoul, South Korea. I probably honestly will visit there if it opens. Actually, it might be open. If it's open for traveling, when it gets like November, December time, I'm probably gonna pop back to the U.S. to see some family for the holidays. But then I'm either gonna go to, I mean, I need to really decide, but I kind of have it open, right? So I'm either going to look at some opportunities in South America like Colombia, Brazil, Panama, Chile, Venezuela, different investment opportunities there, or I'll spend some time in Southeast Asia, take a look at Indonesia, like Bali in that area, Thailand, and some of these other investment opportunities. But some of these markets are a bit oversaturated. I think Seoul, South Korea it's a crazy market, right? Like the problem in Seoul, South Korea is there's not really that many good citizenship by investments or residency programs in Asia just because of the like legal framework in Asia. But anyways, I'm gonna go through these questions and probably wrap things up. I apologize, this isn't gonna be a lot longer, but like I said, tomorrow I'll definitely do a live stream. So if you have any last minute questions, just let me know in the live chat, and I'll continue from there. Yeah, Shamid, shout out to you, by the way. Shout out to you and Iko, you guys are the best. But I mean, 1K passive income is a really nice base to get on top of, and it's very, very simple to do. Like it's as little as solving a problem for a business. So if you're not making a 1K just passive income, think about it like, okay, if you can provide a service to a business in your local area or anywhere around the world, and it's to them it's worth the problem that you're solving is worth 10 times more than that $1,000, you can charge that as a service. So in the past, what I did with doctors' offices in the U.S. is I just did digital marketing for them, right? So a problem that every single business has is they need customers. So if you can bring a business customers that are ideally high-ticket customers, right? So if you can bring in, like, let's say a doctor, new customers, that's what I did. If you can bring in a car dealership, a real estate office, a plastic surgeon in new customers, that can be worth a ton to them, right? Investing is even more, but you look at solving problems for a restaurant, it's on a smaller scale, right? So if you can bring in customers for a restaurant, yes, they'll pay you, but you want to look at solving the highest problem that you can identify in the market. So if you know a local business owner, just like let's say you go into a restaurant every single day, or you go into a hotel, you walk by a hotel every day, and they don't have new people coming in. You basically see a business that maybe is struggling, but provides a good service and has some money, right? So they could invest in some marketing. Approach them. Reach out to the business. Look on LinkedIn. Can you find the marketing officer? Can you find the CEO? I prefer going straight to the top. Go to the CEO and look for, okay, like what are the problems that I can solve for this business owner, and kind of go from there. Because if you can solve a problem that's worth a lot to that business owner, they will happily pay you, happily pay you for your time. Especially with digital marketing, like don't ever get paid by the hour. Always get paid at a flat rate by the month. The flat rate for me, at least when I did digital marketing for businesses, was $1,000 a month. Nothing less than that, because anything less than that, it's not worth your time. But the beautiful thing here is, as long as you learn some basic digital marketing skills, even if it's just Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, whatever it is, you can or it's social media management, right? Like if you can manage their social media, ideally, I think like a more hands-off approach where it's actually passive income is running just ad campaigns, where basically you have a lot of work up front to set up the advertisement. But then they're paying you no matter what in that month. You sign, like, let's say a yearly contract. Maybe you can even get paid up front. So that's $12K. You just made $12,000, $1,000 a month, right, for a yearly contract. And you can set up these ad campaigns to run where you don't have to like physically be there, right? So if you're getting paid by the hour now, if you're getting like let's say you run a business and you're not making a lot of money, these are things where they're very interesting opportunities where you can basically have essentially passive income and then build it in where okay. That one client account that's paying you $1,000 a month, scale that up. It's very, very simple to do. I do not recommend paying for anyone's course who's telling you to buy their whatever digital marketing course, because I can literally teach you these things that they're for free on the internet. It's very, very simple. I've done this myself and have made some nice money doing it. So anyways, let's see. Let's see. Crypto is the best opportunity to, yeah. Okay, this is the thing is, I would say, Shamid, crypto potentially is the best opportunity to become a millionaire, but it all depends, right? So if you're starting with $10, you need some passive income coming in, right? So I don't see it as just a one-size-fits-all approach of just crypto, right? You need multiple things. Think about it like the best chef in the world, right? So you take the best chef in the world and you take a mom who cooks for her kids. You give the best chef in the world chicken broth and noodles, right? And you tell them, make the best soup you can ever make. Those are two raw ingredients, right? So he's very limited to what he can do. That's like just seeing crypto and maybe your job, right? So those two things combined aren't going to do it. For at least I don't think so, right? So maybe if you get incredibly lucky and you spend all your time in the market, but when you add more ingredients to the recipe, so you give the mom, you give her spices, you give her meats, you give her noodles, you give her chicken, all these different things, right? You give her all these raw ingredients. Just like if you can kind of learn more things, learn more kind of data points, you can kind of mix it up in like a soup. I hope you understand the analogy, but that's kind of the way I like to think about it. There's a great book on this called Where Great Ideas Come From. And the idea is it's not just about, like, if you're trying to be the best basketball player in the world, or you're trying to be the best tennis player in the world, or you're trying to be the best, whatever, like real estate business person in the world, it's not just about learning only in that industry. You have to go outside of that industry and learn, okay, what are these things that I'm learning in these other places that I can apply to this? So that's kind of like the amalgamation of ideas. That's about the raw ingredients, right? So if you can read books on different things, that's why I'm a huge fan of reading. I'm a huge fan of learning, even if it's like watching YouTube videos, not just on crypto, right? So start watching videos on commodities, start watching YouTube videos on real estate, start watching videos on business, whatever it is, and then go, okay, I'm not just going to only focus here, I'm going to apply other industries to this. So that's the main thing, is having this kind of soup of ideas. So you're adding raw ingredients, and that's the thing. In a vacuum, I do not think that a cryptocurrency by itself will do this. So very important to understand is you need to have these other income streams coming in to invest, right? So you can constantly dollar cost average in, because don't get me wrong, if your time horizon is 10 years, I think I completely agree with you. But if you're trying to do this within the next 1 to 2 years, there is opportunity, but at the same time, you want to have this passive income coming in so you don't have to sell it all, right? So ideally, you want to pull profits, but you also want to have a core position in these things that you believe in fundamentally, right? So if you believe in what Bitcoin's doing fundamentally, if you believe in Ethereum, if you believe in DeFi, whatever blockchain projects, it will probably do well this bull run, but it won't be the end of it, right? So these things take time, right? So that's kind of my 2 cents on what you said. Yeah, so shout out to you, Mark. El Salvador, yeah. So the El Salvador thing is very, very interesting, but again, the passport quality is what I'm looking at. The main thing is some people look at it as, I've had conversations with people that have like multiple passports, right? They have not just 2 passports, not just 3 passports, but like over 6 passports, and they go, okay, like, they literally think of the passport as a growth opportunity, right? So let's say you have only freedom of movement with, let's say you have like an Afghanistan passport. Well, potentially over the next 20 years, the amount of countries you can travel to, especially visa-free, open up, right? So that's kind of a growth opportunity, whereas something like France or something like New Zealand or the UK passport, well, these passports are kind of at their peak, right? They can only really decline, in my opinion. Now, so they've kind of already hit their threshold. They've already hit the ceiling. But you see other passports, like Albania's passport, or some in the Balkans, or even some in South America, where they could be added on more lists of visa-free travel. And I think especially as more people work from home, work remotely, I think more people will start traveling, more people will start just living remotely, right? And that trend is only increasing. So I think more countries working together to increase tourism, because it only helps each other, right? It is a massive thing. So massive thing. Let me see here. Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I am a little tired. This train ride from man, I'm so tired. I just forgot the name. Tbilisi. The train ride from Tbilisi, Georgia, to here in Batumi was like 5 hours, and it basically worked the whole time. But I mean, the business class. If you ever get the chance to, you can ride the train, and I highly recommend going business class, because it's not that expensive, but you get everything's super nice. You have kind of like a person bringing you stuff. Whenever you can have those like little I don't know what you call it, niceties. It can be very beneficial. So if you ever get the chance, ride the train, because I was expecting maybe it to be like kind of a Soviet style old train, but it's a really nice new train with all these nice amenities, perfect like desktop setup and everything like that. So yeah, gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, shout out to everybody who was in the live stream, man. I enjoy doing these so much. So like I said, I will probably end up doing another one tomorrow. Join the Telegram group, join us on Twitter. I will continue doing videos while I'm here, but I think real estate's the #1 thing I'm going to talk about here, and maybe some more videos on like the local market, especially while the crypto market's kind of moving sideways. I think I'll start talking about more things in just like global investment sectors, whether it's like, okay, Georgia's Citizenship Investment Program, which I've talked about in the past, different countries, residency programs, all these different things you can get set up. It's really about what you guys want to see, because I love doing this YouTube channel. I enjoy all these topics, so it's something that I'm personally interested in. I work in it every single day. Typically, it's with like clients. So what you see on the YouTube channel is kind of my thoughts after I'm working, almost like in my free time, right? So like some people watch Netflix, some people race their cars in their free time, some people like to do whatever. I enjoy capital markets, right? So I'm interested in these things in general. I love traveling. I love walking a city, seeing the different opportunities, meeting locals, exploring all the investment opportunities. So that's why I plan to do this YouTube channel as long as possible, right? Somebody really likes racing their car, I guess. But anyways, that's, by the way, one of the worst investments. There's a horribly crude quote, and I don't even want to necessarily say it, but Doug Casey says this, and I find it very, very true. And don't take this the wrong way, but he says it basically: if it flies, it floats, or if it fucks. So if it flies, floats, or fucks, rent it, don't buy it. Now, obviously, the last one is a little bit crude. Doug Casey's like I think he's like 80 or 70, so it's kind of a ridiculous quote, but it's true. I mean, boats and cars are one of the worst investment you can ever make. Honestly, like leasing and renting them are a lot better, especially for tax purposes. But yeah, I'll kind of leave you off with that. It's kind of a dumb quote, but anyways, thank you guys for joining. Again, join the Telegram group, join the Twitter. Jeez, okay, I'm gonna end this out.